Hi, people. You won't guess what I was doing. I was playing chess by myself, against myself, with myself. And I decided to come here and I put the title of this live stream as to do list because I'm gonna just talk about some things that it's not that you should do, but I'm gonna say both of them. Things that you shouldn't do and that you should do, of course. Of course. So, first of all, one of the things that is very important that I had shared um, today, or was it yesterday, that improve your communication skills. Why? Let me explain to you something. I cannot find my notebook. Oh Christ! I put over there. Without destroying the room, Karini. Yeah, here it is. I took it. Well, to improve your communication skills. But why? For the same reason why I am speaking right now with you guys. The speaking skill is the most important thing. The communication skill is the most important thing when you are a human. You are a human, you need to be able to communicate. Hey Anna, how are you? So, being a human, communication is. This is all about communication, you know? Everything that we do is about communicating. And what people do is people stutter a lot. But why? Is it because they're speaking another language? No. Because I've seen people speaking in their native language and they still stutter. And what happens when you are stuttering is that you are showing people that you are insecure, that you are not trusting the thing that you are saying. When you are speaking, you aren't supposed to be stuttering and filling the gaps of speech. You know, when people are speaking and they are constantly saying, and you are forever waiting for them to complete the sentence. And the same people that are all the time filling the gap with some kind of noise is the people that are all the time going back in their words. They say something, but they all the time have to go back and fix what they said. They have to say, I'm gonna do this, but and the person is kind of insecure, you know. You have that feeling that the person is not telling the truth, that the person is indecisive. And when you are indecisive, you do not conquer trust. People will not trust an indecisive person. If I start to speak here very nervously and not really tell you what I need to tell and keep filling the gaps as if I have no idea what I'm talking about, you wouldn't listen to me. You wouldn't even follow the track of thought that I am bringing, that I am presenting to you right now. You wouldn't be able to do that because you need to be able to communicate. Your voice matters, your posture matters, everything in the communication matters. The way you say. It is interesting one thing that my mother told me one time. My mother, she worked in a company from the government of Brazil, and there was a coordinator. He was a manager, a regional manager, and she used to say to me, "This person, this man, he can tell you the worst things in the world. But in the end, you're gonna look at him and say thank you. Because it's not what you are saying, but how you are saying it. The message is not what you are saying, but how you are delivering the message. This is very important. How you address a person, how you tell the person what you actually want to say is the most important thing. One time I got into a stupid argument and the person got mad at me. They were telling me that because I have the ability with words, I was in advantage. And I just stopped for a second and I started to think this was developed. For a long time, I was studying, a long time studying communication, studying how to speak, studying how the brain works, studying how to put out the words and understanding that my words, the way I choose the words, the way I speak them, the emphasis that I do with my body, all of this matters. And when the person just told me that, I was like, in my head, I just answered, I'm so sorry that you didn't put in the work that I did. Imagine, no. Imagine this. Um, you are a very muscular person. You are a very muscular person and you are lifting some heavy stuff that some weak or even fat person in front of you couldn't lift it. And then this person, this fat and weak person comes and look at you and say, you can only lift this heavy thing because you are muscular. Now, uh, in the place of that muscular person, I would want to laugh because it is actually funny. The moment that that person that is weak and obese is acknowledging your work, it is very funny because to be muscular, to be strong, you have to work for it. So in that moment that the person is telling you that you have an advantage because of a skill that you developed in yourself, they are acknowledging your skill and your effort. They are saying congratulations to you. And they are also acknowledging their own lack of discipline, their own flaw that they are just saying, I didn't have courage enough to do the same thing that you did. So in that moment that the person just said to me that I had the advantage because I know I have communication skills and I know how to choose my words, I know how to speak, I felt grateful and I felt pity at the same time. That in that moment I was thinking, in what level should the person be to acknowledge that I have a skill that was developed. I developed it myself with the help of people that don't even know that I exist. And the person thinks that it is something that I was born with. Karine was born with it. Karine is a girl that can just absorb like a sponge all the languages. She can speak to crowds and she knows how to choose the words properly, etc., etc., etc. I teach because I went through a process to learn it. And here we go to one thing that is very important when you are acquiring your communication skills. The first thing, you first talk to yourself. This is the most important thing ever. You have to understand that the communication skill first comes to the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself. Because you cannot treat other people the way you don't treat yourself. This is the same thing that I said some minutes ago, I recorded a story. I was saying that the people that cannot take no are the people who cannot say no. But why? Why? You can only say no when you recognize and you understand your boundaries. You set your limits. You have standards, you have boundaries, you know until where things go, until where you let people go. And if you don't know how to deal with yourself, you don't know how to deal with people. So, first of all, you have to understand how you are and who you are. And then later, you start to interact. You see that interaction. Let's find the etymology of the word interaction. I love it. My mother and I we love uh, etymology of words. Interaction comes, hi Mateus. Interaction comes from Latin inter, meaning between, and ago, meaning to do or to act. Any action between is considered an interaction. So, for you to have an interaction with a person, first you have to act with yourself. And if you don't know how to act with yourself, you cannot communicate. And when you cannot communicate with yourself, you don't even know who you are. Hi, mom. Mom is here. I I wish mom would learn English so fast because I just talked about her right now. But anyways, when you have a clear vision of yourself, you can talk to other people. You know how to set your tone, you know how to use your words, you know how to understand what the person is saying. Not everything that the person says you will take personal. When the people are talking to you, you don't have more that reaction of getting triggered by simple things or simple questions or whatever it is that people are telling you, and you're not going to react, you're going to respond to it because you know yourself. You understand how you talk to yourself. And people who cannot put in order their thoughts about themselves, they will start stuttering and filling the space of thought with and then saying one sentence and then and going back and the person will speak like three sentences, and in these three sentences, one and a half is them going forth and forth with something that they are trying to say, but they cannot say it because they don't have a proper way to construct the sentence to tell the people what they have to tell. Because what happens in the mind of the person is they start to think about the sentence that they want to say, and then they start to think about the thought of the person in the middle of the sentence, and they are thinking about the thought of the person, but this thought that they are having about the thought of the person is actually the self judgment. So they say this, and then because they thought, they constructed a judgment in the middle of the sentence, they come back to zero, and then they start to say something, the same thing but in a different way, and come back here again to the judgment and go back. These people, they cannot speak, and you see that they are speaking very fast. They are speaking so fast because they are trying to deliver the message very fast, and they are just pushing it out. Just a tip. A tip, a very good tip. When you are not sure of the reaction of the person about what you are going to say, speak slow. Speak slow, because then you don't have to go back so many times. When you go back so many times, it shows that you are insecure, that you are not sure about what you're talking about. So when you speak slow, you can make the sentence better, And then you can create the rest of the thought while you are speaking. And do not get tangled in your self judgment, because this is where people tend to mistake. They are over there speaking the sentence and delivering the message, and then they get tangled in this their self judgment. The person is already following the track of thought. They have to deconstruct again that thought that they had to come back with you, because you are indecisive, insecure, judging yourself. So, when you don't have to judge yourself, when you know yourself and you are sure about what you're talking about, people will feel more comfortable when they're talking to you, because you don't judge yourself. And when you judge yourself, you give space for people to judge you. You see that you are not going to even show what you were thinking, but just because you thought, it comes to your face and you start to act like that, because the thought is commanding your actions, right? So when you start to think about something, it will show your actions. You will act according to your thoughts. So when you start, for example, people, when they are going to talk to a crowd, they are going to present something to many people, they start to think about every bad thought that they have about themselves. Like, it's not that these people over there are thinking. It's just you have bad thoughts about yourself. And when you see, let's say, 7 people, I'm not going to even put a big number, 7 people, they are over there sitting in front of you, looking and waiting. They are really waiting for you to speak. They are waiting for you to open your mouth and speak. And then you start to think about every day that you failed in your life and how bad this is going to be. Such a bad idea to speak in front of these people. And then the thoughts start to inundate your head. You have to stop the thought before it starts. I'm gonna tell something that happened. I told this already many times, but I'm gonna repeat. One time, I really love to sing. I love singing and playing instruments. And in my city, there was an event from my school, because it was for the English class, that was Mamad's music. And I liked to present over there. I presented with my class and everything, okay? In my last year of high school, I went to present Sing Halo by Beyonce. I rehearsed that music many times. My parents saw it, and I was rehearsing this in my house and everything. When I got to the stage and I was going to present over there, many other students had already presented, and I was there on stage. I looked to my left. The memory is so vivid. I looked to my left and I saw 2 guys that I knew. They were laughing. I was already singing. They were laughing. Though I knew they were not laughing anything about me because they were just talking. But as I was singing, I just sabotaged myself. And I couldn't sing. My voice just went up like this and I couldn't bring my voice back. It was a disaster. Why? Because in that moment, I just let my thoughts take over and I got very shy. I was so shy, and like the city, this was an event for the city. Most people from this, like the mayor was there, the councilors, the, the police, everyone, and everyone knows everyone. And I was over there and I just sang like that. Afterwards, I started to understand what actually had happened. I let one small drop of an intrusive thought, negative thought about myself, to enter in my head and to flourish. And then that made it was bad in the moment, but it became a good experience for me, because I learned and I understood what actually had happened. And you have to stop the thought before it comes. 1 year later, I was presenting in a church and I was singing again. So when I saw the people over there, I told myself that I had to stop my thought and change the thought and remember about me. Because that intrusive thought of that moment that I made a mistake shouldn't come back. So, in order to a thought not be in the head, what you have to do is you replace it. Last stream that I did, I was talking about this. You replace your thought. If I don't want to think negatively about myself, I'm going to think positively about myself. And because of this, I started to teach my students that they were very shy about speaking English or speaking in public or anything that they were thinking about. They had a problem, and it was self-image. They used to think of themselves as a failure, as dumb, silly, and their confidence level was very low. And they couldn't see an exit because they were afraid of failure. But the fear of failure was not the actual failure. For example, if I am afraid of falling down, I am going to skate on ice, for example. If I'm afraid of falling down, fine. I know that I am standing here. I fell down. Okay, nothing's gonna happen to me. I am young. I know my age. I know my body. Nothing's gonna happen to me. The worst that can happen to me is that I'm gonna get a bruise or something like that. But if I am skating in front of many people and then I'm gonna be like, they're gonna see me falling down and it's gonna be so embarrassing because I'm gonna fall down in front of the people and etc. etc. The thought is not that you are afraid of falling down. The thought is that you are judging the failure. The people are not paying attention to you, but you are just afraid of the thought that you're gonna have about yourself. This is what made people be scared of communicating, of speaking in public, of doing anything that required them to think something about themselves. So they would think about themselves anything, anything bad. And that is the thought that you have about yourself. So when you know yourself, you don't worry about what people are gonna say. Laura, my student, I have a student, and this student of mine, she joined a lesson, a live stream. We had a live stream together last year, and we were making jokes about this. That we were talking about this, about people judging, and we have a movement that is this. My mother calls this the shoulder dance. So we'd be like, I don't care. Because in other countries, I think we just do it once or we just make it once. But we were just doing this because to say that I don't care, doesn't matter what you're thinking about me. Because what matters is what I think about myself. So when people come to me and say, Karin, you have the advantage because you put in the effort. Yes, the person comes to me and say, you are very good with words, this is why you can do this and that and that. Thank you, thank you very much. You have no idea how much work I had to put in to be this good with words, to be this good at communicating, to be good. And I'm still learning and stopping my ticks. Because when you get a tick, a communication tick, a language tick, you don't stop it if you don't see your flaws, and people are afraid of looking at their own flaws. You don't look at your mistakes. You are afraid of seeing your mistakes. When people come to you and say, hey, this is wrong, Don't get offended. People tend so much to get offended when people are telling them that they are making a mistake. Say, thank you. I wouldn't have seen this without you telling me. When you make a mistake, don't be ashamed of your mistake. Learn from it. Do not get offended when people tell you that something is wrong. Many people, many people get offended and so sensitive when you look at them and say, hey, that's wrong. That's not like this. But also, it depends on how you're saying it, isn't it? Isn't it? But also, you shouldn't tiptoe to people when you have to communicate. And one thing that I realized is that when you start to learn communication, you have to be able to edit your mind. There are three things: read, edit, and configure. Read people's minds. That is a power. No, you read people and people's minds by their actions and expressions, their attitude. You know what is inside of the head of a person. When you look at a person, instantaneously you see in their eyes, in their expression, in their body position, the body language, even the clothes they are wearing, how the hair is set, what they are wearing, accessories. You read them. You edit. You have to edit your mind now because you need to understand the level of who you're talking to. Now you understood the person's mind. Now you have to edit your mind so you can configure or convince the person. You want to have a conversation, you have to be able to do all of them. You change your mind because when you're talking to someone that is, let's say you're talking to a businessman, you have to edit your mind into a businessman's level so you can have a conversation in the level. But if you're talking to a person that is extreme left wing, let's say, that hates working, I'm so sorry, that hates working, it's not worth talking to the person that hates working. I'm so sorry. I tried not to do this, but I couldn't. Well, another example here. You're gonna talk to a child. You're not gonna talk to a child the same way that you're talking to a businessman. So you have to change your language. So every time you are interacting with someone, you have to change your own language to interact with this person. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh my god, what an example was that? That doesn't like to work. No, that you know what is the problem with people that do not like to work? They have nothing to do of their lives. They what example was that? Oh my god. Where did this come from? Well, I don't know where it came from, but it is gone. You know why? Because when you understand what work is not something that should be painful. You shouldn't feel bad at work. I'm not talking about employment. I'm not talking about your job. I'm talking about work. Because, for example, right now, this is work. I am working to bring to you guys clarity, bring to you knowledge and sharing. I am working here. I am working on myself. I am working on you. But people who don't like to work, they don't know themselves. They do not know themselves. Christ. So let's do the to-do list. Number one, stop judging yourself negatively and start to set positive thoughts about yourself. So, number one, set positive thoughts about yourself. Number two, change the way you receive messages because sometimes when you receive the message that someone gives to you, I'm not talking about text messages, I'm talking about the communication, the what is being communicated. Change the way you are receiving because maybe you are misinterpreting the message because your receiving pipe is dirty. So when the things are not in proper order in your mind, you cannot receive the message properly. This is what happens when people they are so deep into their own thoughts and their own judgments that when other people come to them and start to talk to them, they just explode because they receive the message, but they decode the message in the way that is based their thoughts. So the person is thinking about all their guilt and incapabilities and incompetence, and they are judging themselves silently, sitting over there, doing whatever they are doing, and they are judging themselves and thinking negatively. When you come and you ask one single question, they explode. Don't be this person because uh, this just means that you are judging yourself so bad that you cannot receive a pure question without exploding. So clean your receptor canals or channels so the communication is clear. And in the moment that you are speaking, be kind. Do not react to what people are saying to you. Don't react. Do you know the difference between reacting and responding? Let's go to the meaning of the words. React. React and respond. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Cadê? Start speaking Portuguese. Okay. So react. Okay. From re, expressing intensive force or reversal, plus act, originally suggested by late Latin done again. Done again. Eh? Done again. You do it again. So you're doing it again. Now respond. Respond. From Old French, from rispondere to answer. From Latin, respondere. From re, again, plus spondere to pledge. Okay. To respond and to react. So react, we know that is to repeat that action. So the person comes to you with a slap. God, imagine you are just reacting, and then the person punches you, and punch the person back, and then becomes a war. Crazy, right? Yeah. But when a person comes to you and you respond to that, you're not reacting. Because reacting, you are just repeating what the person did. So the person shouted at you, you're gonna shout back. No, no. Respond. And sometimes to respond to an action is being silent or doing nothing. You have to have wisdom and weight the plate and balance to understand to understand that the person did something. My response will get through the brain of the person. If I respond right now, is it worth it? my energy that I'm gonna put into it. Because sometimes you have to balance and see, should I respond to this person now? So stop reacting to people. Just respond. So what was the number one? The number one was stop judging yourself negatively. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. The number two, I'll have to watch again to remember because the people were not here. And you just have to understand that you should not be reacting. Respond to the people. So, yeah, number two, keep your receiving channels clean. So, judge yourself positively, construct positive thoughts, clean your receiving channels, and don't react. Understand the difference between reaction and response because most people they are just throwing back words. They are not paying attention to what they are saying. I always say your words are commandments. If you are cursing people, you if there is one thing that is never do not curse people. Do not call people names. This is something you don't have the right to call anyone stupid, incompetent, a bitch, an asshole. You don't have the right to call people names, but their names. In my house, we had a law. I love my house because of this. We had a law, we had a rule, no nicknames. You have a given name, and your name has a meaning. It was given to you with one purpose. You have that name. There ain't no nicknames. Nobody should call you by nicknames that are affective, affectionate, or not, or offensive. No nicknames. No nicknames accepted. So in my house, we don't call each other by nicknames, and we don't accept other people calling us from nicknames unless those are nicknames that we defined ourselves. This is it. You don't have the right to call people things. Never ever, never ever disrespect people with your words. Never. I am saying never. Never disrespect someone with your words. Do not. Understand how to speak, how to talk to someone. Do not say things and then later say, "Oh, I was just kidding." Wait a second. Solomon says that. One second. Mm, Let me just. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Proverbs 26:19. Proverbs 26:19. Let me read. Let me read. Da-da-da. So many versions. Ah, anyone who would trick someone and then say, "I was only joking," is like a fool who shoots flaming arrows into the air and accidentally kills someone. Oh my god! I'm gonna read again. Anyone who would trick someone and then say, "I was only joking," is like a fool who shoots flaming arrows into the air and accidentally kills someone. I need I need to read it again. Anyone who would trick someone and then say, I was only joking, is like a fool who shoots flaming arrows into the air and accidentally kills someone. You, oh my god. You know why I am so sensitive about that I had to read it many times because what I hear people say the most is they say something and then they say, I was only joking. It was a joke. Just kidding. I am thankful for the parents I had and I have because this was another rule in my house. Never say something that you don't mean and say you were joking. Never tell a lie and say you were joking. And never use I was just kidding to get out of a situation that you have just created with a statement. In my house, we had this rule: no nicknames, no joking. No joking. A statement is a statement because the brain does not understand that you are joking. And you know what? There is one thing that a study in psychoanalysis brought to me. People express their deepest thoughts through joke. They make jokes to tell something that they wouldn't tell seriously. So they try to make a joke with that, but this is no joke. So if you say something to someone, don't say that you were only joking. Do not. If you are going to say something, don't lie about it. Be intentional with your words. Stop joking. I always tell people, say, your statement is a statement. You told me something. You called me something. You said something. Period. Period. I was only joking is another sentence and does not change what you have just said. So understand that when you are joking with people, you're showing your true self. And they understand that a joke is not a joke. You are just telling the thing that you wouldn't say seriously and saying that is a joke, but it ain't. It's not a joke. Everyone knows. So, no nicknames and no jokes. Ay, Karini, but this is so cringy. Now there is no way to have fun. Have fun, but don't be silly. Have fun, but don't be stupid. Have fun. Your fun doesn't need to be an offense. You know what? One time I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was talking about people. And he said, I like to go to parties. I said, I don't like to go to parties that I don't know who is there. He said, I love to meet new people. I said, yes, me too. I love to meet new people. But what I mean with knowing who is there is not about who is there. not the individual, not a person there. Let me give an example, I said to him. It's the coffee. Imagine that here you have these brands of coffee and these other brands of coffee. Those brands, you know they are bad and you have tried. They are bad quality coffee. These brands over here, uh, they are high quality coffee, but you know only one. But you are going to try the other ones, but you don't know, but you know that this is high quality coffee. So I want to know who is in the party, not as everyone that is in the party. Hi, frankly, not everyone, but the quality of the people, the kind of the people that is there. So with having fun is the same thing. Having fun is the same thing. You don't have to make a joke to have fun. You don't have to call people names to have fun. You don't. There is a level for everything. And if you have to offend someone and say it is a joke, it's a very low level. Yeah, so again, uh, know how you judge yourself so you can talk. Keep your receiving channels clean. Yes. Respond. Not, do not react. Respond. And no nicknames and no jokes. You're not gonna call people stupid, not gonna call them assholes, and you're not gonna give a statement that isn't true and say, I'm just joking. You're gonna say what you mean to say, and if what you say is getting you into trouble, face the trouble because you have just created the trouble. You're not gonna escape your trouble just to say one sentence, I'm just joking. No, you're not joking. You just created a situation, now you're trying to run away from it. Yeah. With I'm only joking. No, you're not joking. You just said something and now you cannot face the consequences of it. This is what I see many people doing. The people are saying things to each other and be like, that's just a joke. No, it ain't a joke, and I do not accept jokes. Not like that. If you want to make a joke, make a real joke. Make real joke. Do not say things again. I'm gonna read it again. Anyone who would trick someone and then say, I was only joking, is like a fool who shoots flaming arrows into the air and accidentally kills someone. That's it. That's it. That's it. And the 20 is without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, arguments stop. Yeah, I love read Proverbs, people. It is 31 chapters. Read one chapter every day of the month. It's awesome. You're gonna acquire so much wisdom. It's like for everyday life. Just read it. You're gonna understand. Look, a simple rule of my house: do not make jokes. Do not say that you were joking. Do not tell a lie and say that you're joking. That was a simple rule since I was born. Like my parents would say, no nicknames, no joking. And else, yeah, a whole list. They took this from Proverbs, and I grow up and I be like, oh, wisdom, pure wisdom. And then people that have no wisdom, they think that Karin is cringy, that I am annoying. No, I'm not annoying. I'm not cringy. I just take life seriously. My voice, I speak. Hi, Marco. So, what you are speaking matters, and how you are speaking, too. And if you say something, face it. So, it's better not to tell a lie than to tell a lie. And yeah. So, this is it. Be careful and pay attention to what you are thinking about yourself, because what you're thinking about yourself will define how you can communicate with people, because the way you communicate is only a reflection of how you communicate with yourself. So if you have a good communication with yourself, if you know yourself, if you understand yourself, you know who you are, you have boundaries and standards, and you work on yourself, you know how to talk to other people, you know how to communicate, you're not going to feel insecure, you will not have to speak so fast, to deliver a message so fast, you're not going to stutter, you're not going to have to fill the gap with the ahs and then go forth and then come back because you changed your mind with what you were talking about because of your self judgment. So, know yourself, love yourself, understand yourself. It's a process. Don't worry, it takes time. But the important thing is work on yourself. That's the most important thing. You have to work. So, yes, for the person that said to me that I can only speak in an argument because I'm good with words, yeah, it's been 50 minutes that I've been doing this live stream, and I am teaching other people to be good with words. Yes, communication, because we live communicating, right? Yes. We have even the language of the computer language. So even if the computer needs communication, humans are based on communication. So if you, person that said that to me, think that it's wrong that I improve my communication skills, well, you're lost. That you're not doing this for yourself. And just people, do not get offended, or what would be the word? Yeah, cringy because of what people told you, but take things as a lesson. Learn the things as a lesson and carry them as a lesson, not as a burden. So, yeah, have a good day, night, afternoon, wherever you are, and enjoy. Because right now I'm gonna enjoy my communication with my parents because I've gotta say to them thank you for this because it just came the memory to my head that of the rules for my house. So yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna tag my mother and my father over here. I don't know why, but I will because I want to. So yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Don't even want to finish this live stream. It's so good to tell you guys and share the things that I have received. Pay attention to the quality of people that you are spending time with. If they do not know how to say no, or if they get offended with the no's that you say, you should rethink the people that you are passing time with. Because if they cannot get a no, what will they do when they they're gonna try to force you to do something? They'll not accept that.